Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing well today. It's just about Christmas time, less than a week away. And I think it's a good time sometimes to talk about discernment. And this is a deep and wide subject that can be explored pretty expansively from a theological perspective. But I want to really focus on just one little part, and that is peace and fear. So peace that comes from the Lord is that long-term and non-circumstantial peace. Whereas fear that doesn't come from the Lord is also long-term and non-circumstantial. Have you thought about that much? On the flip side of that, peace that is only short-lived and only circumstantial is definitely not from the Lord. In fact, I would say you could probably call that not peace, but comfort or pleasure. Whereas fear that is short-lived and only circumstantial might very well be from the Lord for our own safety and preservation. So I think that's a lot to unpack, and I'm not going to unpack all of it. So if you want to go back and listen to it again, maybe write these things down, spend some time on them. That's probably a good idea. I've spent a lot of time on this. How might you spend time on this? Asking yourself, how much long-term peace do you have? And how much long-term fear do you have? And then consider that worth exploring and laying down and kind of in subservience to the Lord, meaning that I'm not going to try and think my way out of some of these things that I'm afraid of. Instead, making it subject to God, allowing Him to instruct you of what you might fear that's healthy, and that you might have an everlasting peace. One of the things that Scripture tells us is that Jesus tells us He gives a peace that is not like the world gives, and it's an unsurpassing and indescribable peace. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time trying to describe that which the Bible tells me is indescribable or beyond understanding, right? All I can tell you is that I've had some really, really difficult circumstances, and yet I've managed to receive peace in those circumstances. And I know that wasn't from me. It wasn't from the way that I could think my way through a problem. It was often, in fact, the way that I was able to say to others, will you please pray for me? So if you don't have a group of friends who are willing to pray for you, get that group of friends, because that's one of the ways that you'll get to experience that kind of peace. The other is just being in the Lord's presence. You don't have to be alone on your knees to be in the Lord's presence. While that helps oftentimes, sometimes just a good walk in the woods or a walk down the street even can give you the opportunity to be in the Lord's presence. And we're in the Lord's presence right now, here together. So let's just revel in that alone, right? That we can be in His presence right now. We don't have to try and prepare ourselves separately, or we don't have to clean ourselves up. He's already done that. We can be in His presence every second of every day. And as those fears arise, Lord, is this a long-term fear? Or is this something temporary that I need to be aware of to be safe? And Lord, give us peace. The kind of peace that it doesn't matter what the circumstances are, we get to still experience peace. Thanks. Have a great day.